Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bloodstained Wings, and today I wanted to paint just a nice, easy painting that I would usually paint. Very much my style, not challenging myself at all, just something real easy. Something that I really enjoy is woodsy kind of paintings and deep forests and things like that. And this painting that I'm about to show you was actually very much inspired by kind of movies like Princess Mononoke and Fern Gully, where it's like deep woodsy, warm kind of feeling, but like slightly fantasy or very fantasy, depending on how you look at it. This adorable little painting is really fun. I will say that I did start with a gessoed background of just some like a balled up paper towel that you just dab randomly with some gesso and then paint in some vertical lines for your tree trunks. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll see it in a few seconds. And if you guys want to paint along with me, the colors I use are burnt umber, a yellow ochre, lemon yellow, titanium white, sap green, and viridian hue. Let's start painting. So as you guys saw in the intro, I just wanted to do like a really nice, fast painting. I don't want to spend too much time on anything. This painting is a very small painting. Again, I just, listen, some days, you know what I mean, some days? I've actually been painting all day, doing a bunch of prep work for my Patreons, as well as prep work for a wedding. There's a wedding happening. Some of you may or may not know that not me, and I'm not getting married, but my best friend, she's getting married, and I'm really excited about it. But I'm doing a lot of work for them for their wedding because I'm particularly creative, and she can't stop me. Until she tells me no, I'm gonna keep going. Alright, I'm gonna use this anyways. We're gonna start with the yellow, and I kind of want to do something. I mean, you guys saw the intro, but I want to do something that kind of looks a little more magical because I want it to feel like one of the forests that's in Princess Mononoke. And then I want to have it be like that. I want to have a kodama, which I believe you guys will have seen in the intro, but I hope it looks good because that's what I'm going for. But I thought that it might be really fun to do like a nice browny yellow on the bottom that then like makes it look more like, I don't know, earthy. But if you do things like in the reverse order from what you think it would be, right? Then like things appear more interesting, I think. Because like traditionally, I shouldn't say traditionally, in the past, when I have done things like this, the way that I did it was that the yellow was at the top to give it that like distance. But I think if we do it here and have the distance here, that maybe it'll, and we still have the dark foreground with the brown, so I think it just makes this part look deeper and then like this part will look farther. That's my plan. I don't know how much I'm going to succeed at my plan, but I mean, that's my plan. So I'm gonna go into the sap green now. If you guys want to know the colors that I used, the first colors I used were lemon yellow in this middle section, and then I used yellow ochre in this section here, and then this was burnt umber, I believe. Yes, it was. And then up here I went into the sap green, and then I'm gonna top the whole thing off with a whole bunch of viridian hue, so that it's like a nice like emeraldy color right at the top. Yes. That like emeraldy green kind of feel. I want it to also kind of feel like it's, I don't know, somewhat underwater. I'm trying to make it feel magical. Roll with me on this one. We're trying to make it feel magical, okay? So, pulling all kinds of resources in regards to references of like underwater, like seaweed forests and things, as well as like pictures from Princess Mononoke and stuff. So we have nice references. I'm just going to clean that brush off a little bit, not overly because I don't particularly care, and I just wanted to blend this part a little bit more, but I didn't want to pull too much of that emeraldy green color down, so I'm just trying to be real gentle with that blending. There we go, it's nice and smooth. Now if you're going to do one of these paintings, if you're looking to do a painting and you want to do a fast painting, do this in 2 steps like I did with the gesso on the background. It just makes your life easier. It does. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. I'm going to tell you, yes, this makes your life easy. Just start with having a gesso painting in the background. It allows your paintings to just like be easier. I'm going to put the light here, I think. I'm going to put a little bit of light through here. And I just want it to be like, whoosh. Coming out from the home. That's my cat. I did feed him. Just not that anybody believes me, including him. I'm just gonna blend out the top just to make it a little bit soft so it's not so harsh, but I want to keep these like lines going on, and I'm going to use them to like have dappled light in the foreground kind of stuff. That's the plan. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one for the highlights, and this one's going to be for my lowlights. And I'm going to mix a little bit of that brown in with the emeraldy green Viridian hue color. Just a touch. Just a touch of love, just a touch of love. Oh, that's a fun song. But I just wanted to add like a little bit of like some leaves that are like darker than the rest of them. Just to give some like kind of variations to things. I want the top of the trees to be like real dark, because they're like, I don't know, in front of the light, I guess is what I'm trying to say with my art. Trying to say with not words, which makes life hard because you're trying to say things without words. But that will help to like make it look like there's a reason for the dappled light, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's get a little bit on the edges here, but then I want those colors to, we're gonna add a bunch of stuff to it down at the bottom. I want more sap green in it now. I'm gonna grab more of the sap green, and I'm gonna come in over here with a little bit of that sap green in the yellow section to kind of give it that. Once again, avoiding my little pulled out light columns so that they appear more, I don't know, so that they appear, so that they can still be there. You don't want to cover them all up, because then what was the point of pulling it out and being all pretty about the pulling out? You could have just, I got sidetracked by my own brain. It's fine. But you could have just left them alone and it would have been fine. So now using my other brush, I'm going to do little highlights. I'm going to start in this section, go this way, even though usually I would go the other way around. But the reason I'm doing that is because this is yellow and I want to highlight these with yellow. And these I might highlight with the sap green more involved in it. So getting some of that bright lemon yellow, mixing it with the white. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of the goop. It's the neomaglyph that we always start with. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some highlights where I think this light would have, like, you know, touched a bush, you know, like that. Like, boom, a bush got touched by some light. Just like that. You know, just to give it that little bits of life that I think it would have. Yeah, oh, that looks really good, that back one. That was good, that's what I wanted. And I'm just gonna give maybe a little bit of the yellow ochre a go, so it's a little bit of a different kind of yellow. So that, because this is like a little bit farther away. Give little bushes over here. Some highlights, like they were kissed by the light in the rain. Sure. That's not the lyrics to that song, but you know, we're going with it. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the sap green, still keeping these yellows on my brush. Like I'm just mixing it on my brush, so there's like all kinds of mixing happening. I'm gonna keep it more in the yellow ochre with the sap green, just because I don't want it to get like super bright. But I'm gonna have a little dappled light going on these guys too. Just a smidge. So it looks like the light is hitting it. Yeah, like that. Keeping in mind that our light is on the bottom and not on the top of these guys is complicated. I want to flip my canvas around. It's okay. We'll make do. There we go. Just wanted, like, I'm not even sure you guys can see that. You'll see it in the intro. You guys saw it in the intro, so you're fine, right? But this is how you do it. You just very gently tap and release with your paintbrush. As long as you pull the paint downwards, I'll show you what I'm doing. So I have my brush, so this is my down part and that's my up part. So I'm always pulling in the same direction. And that's how I'm loading my brush. I'm just mixing in between the yellow ochre and the sap green. That's why I put them in this order, so that I could do that. And then if it gets too thick, I grab a little bit of the goop, thin it down to make sure that it will stick to the colors that we got going on. You can see we got like a kind of muted green color, and that's what I've been highlighting with. And then after, because we've been pulling in this direction, you flip the brush around so that that side that was the pulling down part is now on the top. And that's how you get those nice rounded shapes, which is important for trees. Trees have that kind of like rounded shape. I'm gonna come in here and do some darker highlights around here so you guys can see that there are things that are not touched by the light, you know? But they're still like highlighted, they're just not kissed by the light in the same way. So that way it makes it like interesting and different. All right, I think it's time for a river. It's time for a river. Let's do this. Enough fiddle-faddling. We need a river. And by we, I mean me. I love painting rivers. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get a fan brush, and you're gonna load it on both sides. And then you're gonna pick where you want your river to start. I think here's a nice place, and I'm just gonna have it pull over and then drop, and pull over and drop. And then we have a nice little waterfall right there. Look at that cute little waterfall. It's so cute. I'm just gonna, there we go. That's nice. Maybe we'll make it a nice little cascading river. Okay, I'm just gonna dapple a little bit of, because whenever things drop with the water, they always have like little splashes, foams that come up from that. And then from there, I think what I'll do, I'll have it come out like this and then splash inwards just a little bit. Same on the other side. Pull that way and drop, and drop. There we go. And that way we have like a little chasm that it's like falling into, which is fun. Love that. And then we need more splashes. Splashes! And then we'll just have this as a nice little, nice little pond area that it kind of goes into. And then maybe a little splash down here. Okay, that's off the canvas, so that part doesn't matter. But I made a river. We need to have little rocks that exist. Rocks need to exist to like block in the river. Otherwise, the water would just go everywhere it wants to, all willy-nilly. So I'm gonna put some rocks over here next to our river. There we go. I'm gonna highlight that rock with a little bit of yellow in my mixture here. Just whoosh. Real gentle, real gentle. Oh, I hit the camera. I'm so sorry. Try to be gentle with my palette knife apparently means I was not gentle with the camera. That's my bad. I'm gonna put a rock over here Gotta be a reason that this water doesn't flow elsewhere. Some of you may know, but I actually studied environmental science and therefore know a lot about rivers. And can use words like sinuosity. Wow, she's so smart. just give me this, okay? Thank you. Gonna be a comment from Banny that just says, "Yeah, you're so smart, Kappa." And you're like, thanks. Thanks. I feel smart. Okay, I think I'm gonna go back to my fan brush, but I'm gonna go into the sap green. Even though it has the white on it, I'm still just gonna mix it with the sap green. And a little bit of the viridian hue, just get a nice green going on there. And I think what I'm gonna do is just have like a little bit of grass that like, hey, I'm grass. That just like hangs out over here. I like the kind of sagey color that happened. I mean, that's not the color I thought it was going to be, and I am happy with it. I think it's really interesting. There we go. Just have some more over here. I am angling my brush, as you can see, this way to try to give like some ridges so that this looks like a little hill. A little grass-covered hill. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So there's just this like grass-covered hill just hanging out over here. All right. I forgot to do my tree, which is a really bad idea. But I really just want to have like a little bit of texture in through here. I don't want to have like a lot throughout the whole thing. I'm going to give the impression that there's some big old dark tree here, but I don't want it to be like the main focus. I think what I'm going to do is grab my smaller palette knife, because I kind of painted myself into a hole, and I'm just going to fill in the little areas here with some like bark texture. This is just straight the burnt umber. There's no other mixture in here, but I'm just filling in where I like have some gaps in my foliage, I guess, so that this can feel like a big tree that's like really covered in you know, like leaves and bushes and vines and all kinds of things like that. We want to leave it up to people's imagination what's in there. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, just give like a little detail to some of these that like kind of exist. Just want to give a little texture to some of these trees, because they look a little, well, they look a little dead, don't they? But now they have a little texture, which is great. We're gonna give this one a little bit of texture. It also gives them a little bit of color, which I think also helps. Just a little bit in there. There. Just brings those out a lot more. Oh wow, I'm really liking this. All right, I think it's time for us to attempt to draw a kodama. I should be able to. I mean, they're pretty lumpy, so I don't think I'm gonna have that much of a problem. I'm just gonna have them like sporadically through this. I just want to have like little tiny white boys. little adorable skellymans. Hopefully. Little legs. Little arms. It's real tiny, and I'm trying very hard with this brush to do a good job. I don't know if that worked. Maybe I'll have one at the bottom, like just lounging. You're like, oh, I'm just lounging. There he is. That one's cute. Okay, we're getting the hang of this. This is my first time doing this, so we're just trying. He needs like a head of some sort. There we go. Yeah, little dude. These guys are like really tiny in Princess Mononoke. I don't know if you guys have watched Princess Mononoke or not. It is, in fact, my favorite Ghibli film, in case anybody wanted to know. If you guys have a favorite Ghibli film, please feel free to share. I would love to hear what yours is and why. Princess Mononoke is my favorite because I really care about the environment. And Princess Mononoke is one of the few movies I feel like that really tries to showcase the struggle of sustainability and the idea of what sustainability is, because you're talking about like a whole town that is trying to like live freely, but then also, you know, they're trying to like live, well, they're not trying to, but eventually at the end of the movie they do, try to like live with the environment and the like surrounding area as opposed to fighting it all the time. And like at the beginning of the movie, it's like Iron Town has like it's good for the people and they're making money, excellent, but it's bad for the environment, and that's like the thing they gave up so that they could achieve the other two things. And by the end of the movie, they're like, no, we shouldn't have given that up. We need to try to find a way to still do everything that we're doing, but also have it still good for the environment, which I think is like really admirable that they like tried to address that, because it's not an easy topic to like think about and to illustrate, and they definitely did a great job in that movie, in my opinion, of how to do that. Whew! I got a little face! Oh my god, it's so tiny. Those were really tiny. I hope you guys enjoyed this painting because I had a lot of fun with it. I hope that the reason that Princess Mononoke is your favorite Ghibli film is the same as mine. And if it's not, tell me why. Whatever it is that's your favorite is your favorite. I do very much enjoy a lot of other Studio Ghibli films. But Princess Mononoke just holds a special place in my heart because I did actually go to school for environmental science, and like I genuinely care about the environment and things like Fern Gully and Princess Mononoke and Captain Planet. I laugh because it's true, but also it's Captain Planet. But those kind of things had a huge influence on me as a child. And so I deeply care about the environment, and I hope you guys do too. And if you liked this paint, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below, or leave a little like. That's nice too. As always, thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for always sticking by me. I really appreciate you guys so much. Remember that you guys are loved and you deserve to be loved. And I'll see you guys next week. Mwah!